Hi, this is Mia. I'm supposed to be studying. Actually, I have this random, I clipped it. It's supposed to be childbirth 3. I have less than 2 weeks until my midwifery board exam, state board exam. It took me like forever to get through 1 and 2, and now finally started 3 like yesterday. I think, yeah, yesterday. And I have, I'll go ahead and pull this out. I have, okay, so OB6, so they used to call it, they changed the name, OB6. Here's, I don't know what. This doesn't look like a whole class worth of notes. This one's called OBS 730. This one's called NCB 710. I don't know. Special topics. And then childbirth 4. So this looks like this one would be next. And I don't even know if this is even in any kind of order, or if I just like had a stack of papers I found random around the house. I just threw them into one. So this is 5. I think 5. I have a whole notebook with 5. The thing is with me, yeah, I have a whole notebook with 5. And then I have some stuff from when I shadowed up at OHSU. I have this. So I'm gonna so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and put this stuff in the back. OB6. This can't be in whole class. What the heck? Whatever. I'm gonna read it. OB5. Where's this one? This one just fell out. Special topics. This is day 1. I definitely remember. This is the first time I saw a birth. This is a birth. Like, I saw one list. It's really like 8 pages, but it looks like a half a page. Got it's like 7 pages of stuff that naturopath midwives carry to a house. And it looks like there's 2 pages. Sometimes people's editing disappears. It looks like there's a bunch of phone numbers, important phone numbers that somebody crossed off. Really interesting name that I see right here. Just saying. There's a doctor, I've seen her name so many times in the past 3 months, and she has the same name as one of my kids' school advisors, and I'm like, I'm gonna just call this person. I'm just gonna be like their name is in my phone. Like, like, who is this? I'm gonna find out who this is. This person's, because I have my daughters, she must have been hired. I had a bunch of jobs I was applying for that were posted. I never heard back. Yeah, I have this doctor, Susan. She was looking for an administrative assistant. Never contacted me. I might contact this person. I boxes, official tackle box, black bag, has your stuff, oxygen tank, tubing, bags and masks, laryngoscope, etc. IV equipment, etc. Scale, back books, mirror, more oxygen, tubing, it's like a duplicate, Dopplers, stethoscope, thermometers, catheter sets, all of this perineal repair kit, so all of the sutures and sterile materials and suture material, scissors, hemostat, cervical repair kit. So she has the long needle holders, grave speculum. I haven't shadowed for the cervical repair, so I guess I call her, this lady, one. Headlamp, of course. I'm just kidding. I've been getting a lot of use out of headlamps for midwifery. You don't have you're not in like an operating room with, with the lamps in the ceiling. Infant care, cord clamping, more cord clampings, heating pads, stethoscopes, and then a bunch of injectable stuff. Supplies, azithromycin, methogen tabs, ampules and tabs, epinephrine, sodium bicarb, erythromycin, vitamin K, glucose, lidocaine, marcaine. I don't even know. Oh, acetylcaine. I know what that is. I don't know what that is. Like, I just don't. I think we use different. I think we use gel lidocaine. Bunch of gloves, supplies, disposable supplies, and sterile sponges and gauze and stuff. And a couple books. I don't know if she carries this. This was the first class, and then a whole bunch of supplements and homeopathics. And then, oh, it has the supply where she gets her stuff. And medical supply companies. This was the first day of this class. I believe it was number 6. I took them all out of order, so it's hard. But child number 6. The teacher brought her van over, her truck over, and all of this stuff, and put it out. We had it outside, and she just like set up this huge area. And it was before, I believe it was right before I started doing home births, and I was like, dude, that's a lot of stuff. So people in the hospital when I was shadowing at the hospital at the time, they're like, dude, it's so careless to do out-of-hospital births. What is people thinking? What a bunch of idiots. I would never have a baby like that and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, you pretty much, make sure I don't mix this stuff up. I'm about to just leave this whole thing in the folder right now. It's getting to that point. Like, it's getting to that point that everything has to be read. That's not going to get in the folder. What am I thinking? It's like, carry so much stuff. So we're not able to do C-sections, so we're not going to do a C-section. If it was that urgent, I feel, what is this? Now I got things mixed up. Oh, this is class 4. Okay. Let's keep it like it is. I was like, dude, we're not doing hands-on C-sections while we're students. I viewed several, but I never had hands-on. We know how to cut and suture. We know how to use scalpels and suture things, but I know that if most of the births take place within 20 minutes or closer to the nearest hospital, and if you have an ambulance so they can get through traffic, but sometimes it's faster to just go. If you're 7 minutes from the hospital, it's faster to go than to call the ambulance to come. And if we need a transport in a situation, staying in town, if it was something urgent where you think you need a C-section, like if somebody dropped their partner off at the hospital right now, triage them, or put them through ER, and then go blood test, since OR had prepped the doctors, put on their sterile stuff. I mean, they can do that in less than 5 minutes, but enter all that stuff in the computer. It's going to take at least 15 minutes. Let's just put it that way. It's going to take you at least 15 minutes from the entrance to the hospital to actually being in the OR. Maybe less, I don't know. So I feel like when I'm doing midwifery at a hospital, there's always a plan of if you need a transport. And most of the transports are like, okay, you're stalling, pack a bag, pack your baby car seat, pack your baby clothes and your favorite diapers, and maybe a snack or something, feed and water your dog. Basically, take a half an hour, get ready to go, and get your pregnant partner dressed and in the car and drive and take your somewhere, and then you're not going to have your baby for like 8 hours and longer if it's stalled. It was urgent. We have urgent after the birth. We were just going to drive, but they got paranoid and just said, let's do the ambulance, but it was their choice. We wouldn't have done it. We just drove. And then, so I think, like, say they had their fetal heart turns were really bad, the first thing you see, if it happens once, that's one thing you decide. If it happens a couple times and you're concerned or something weird is going on, then you just transport. If you think it's urgent, you call the ambulance, and while you're waiting for them to come, you gather stuff. So we were waiting for an ambulance one time, and we had plenty of time to just put everything on the porch that we were going to take and get the mom cleaned up and dressed. It was several minutes before they got there. So that's how I feel. If I've been in a hospital births, I haven't seen anyone be rushed to OR. A lot of times they'll be like, if you don't push this baby out in 5 minutes, we're doing a C-section. And of course they'd push the baby out, but I think that's, I'm not trying to be careless, but I think that's where an MD would say, or a nurse practitioner, or, a nurse midwife, you take this and you wheel the bed down the hall into an operating room. Like, that would be 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes. That's so I can see that it's urgent, or it's ruptured and they were going to bleed out, or something, different things, or if the cord prolapse, something like that. So I can see that, but the biggest thing is if you have any inkling and you're out in the country and you have any inkling, it's like you need to go right now. And the midwife naturopaths that do a lot of country births, they're like, I don't know, Columbia River Gorge, they'll be like, we know hospitals, someone can do emergency or deal with this. We would have to drive into Portland anyway, like, so that's, from a medical and a educational standpoint, we have these notes, and these are not all of the notes I have to get through this week. We have all these notes, and I typed, like you can see the other color is, this story. Somebody had an EMT take 30 minutes to get there and 30 minutes to get to the hospital. This is another country doc. And the doctor I shadow also does anywhere, really. It does, but other people are kind of farther out in the gorge, closer to the gorge, so they get more of those calls. But it's one of those things where it takes 30 minutes for the ambulance to come, and it takes 30 minutes to go back to the hospital. So it's like, get in the car and go now. You're going to get there in 30 minutes or whatever from the house. You'll save 30 minutes. So in some situations, what you're doing, planning out a hospital birth, or you're planning a C-section, is something, if you're in early labor, or something happens, or this happens, or there's a bleed, or placental abruption, like, whether you even planned on being induced in 3 weeks, and 3 weeks prior something comes up, you're still, that's the thing. Whether you plan at a hospital or in hospital births or whatever you plan, sometimes stuff happens on a timeline that, obviously everything happens on the timeline you can't really control. So even doing any hospital births and doing doula births, it's like, people would be like, oh, we had one C-section after another. We had 2 sets of twins. We had this, we had that. We had 3 emergency C-sections in the past 3 hours. And they're bringing people in like, well, I think you could go in another 3 hours and do C-section, but we've been having back-to-back. People would be like, we're not having back-to-back, so you need to go in. And this was, I did Irish birth as a doula. Now, and just, sign the papers, get the bodysuit on and go, and so even if something urgent comes up, if somebody's already in there, in the OR, they can be in and out and cleaned up very quickly, but if somebody's in there, you're going to have to wait anyways. That's what I'm saying too. So, and even some instances where the midwife may or may not think it's urgent, if the hospital is on divert, they will end up you can call and you'll be, oh, this is the place we already plan on going. Like, no, we are completely full. We are completely full. And I know hospitals will try to manage, like, is this person in labor? Is it early? Are they still being triaged? Do they have, do they need to go? You know, they need to be buried or, you know, loss or whatever, fetal demise. And it's like, they don't want them to recover on the floor where you hear all the babies crying, all the families bringing flowers either. You know, so I saw how they managed those 13 beds or however many beds they have, amazingly, in the big city. Because the big city that has so many hospitals. So out in Salem, they have a huge birthing center because there's a lot of rural areas. Everyone would go there. Everyone would go there. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if I was going to the hospital and with my kid's dad and having all these people like do this kind of stuff. I'd probably end up with 2 C-sections. I'd be like, I had out of hospital births, and the timing was between me and the baby coming out, and I'm like, I'm grateful. So yeah, I know the biggest thing is you're doing so many monitoring, and even though you're studying all these notes that any type of birthing worker would know, we get the stories, and we get this person had a cord prolapse, and or this person was out in the country, this person wanted to go 8 months pregnant, so the midwife went with them. Like, there's these different stories, and you're like, when you're shadowing, you're like, well, everything is boring, and you're like, oh wait, that's a good thing. And then if something weird happens, you're like, okay, I just learned from that, and everyone ended up okay. And you just end up like having to store that, and like it's like not really a mental Rolodex, but you sort of store that because every situation is different. Even if a person has 3, 4, 5 kids by the same midwife, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen each time, and it's just like when you see that baby come out and all the fluids, and then the baby cries, it's just like and you still have to watch their breathing. It's like, but it's just like you're just monitoring continuously. You're checking vitals. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're doing this. Checking for bleeding. Praying a lot. And coaching and tired, and I just don't know. I was one of those people that didn't want anyone at my birth. I didn't have any insurance. I wanted someone at the birth. I didn't have insurance. I couldn't go to the hospital. I didn't want bills. I hate bills. I hate people threatening to send you to collection because you didn't pay a medical bill. I was like, no ambulance, no hospital, no. I couldn't hire a midwife. I couldn't even pay for food, for Pete's sakes. And I didn't even know they had health insurance. Pregnant. I didn't know we should have got food. I was like tired, couldn't think. So I somehow, in 1999 and 2000, 2001 time period, said something like, oh, maybe I can go to midwifery. So I was like 8 months pregnant with my son. Maybe I can go to midwifery school and become a midwife and deliver my own baby. I was like, so I looked in the phone book at the yellow pages back in the country, and I was like, gee, what am I thinking? I can't afford school right now. I can't even, like, I was eating a bag of Chip Soy cookies every 3 days. That's pretty much it when I was pregnant with my son. Like, I think I remember eating chicken once. I lived in a house with my dad and my kid's dad, and I was pregnant and nursing, and I was 9 months pregnant, 8.5 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant, I was born. $5 and be able to drive to the store and eat. I was so hungry, and eat a pack of cookies and share it with my daughter. My son, for so many years, he just hated chocolate chip cookies. Like, I was like, oh, that's all I ate. It was like, it had chocolate in it, it had wheat fortified wheat, and it had eggs, and it's like, and it probably had butter, it's like, some fat, it's like, and probably had a little protein, who knows, yeah, it probably did. That's what I ate. I don't remember eating. I don't remember eating anything but those cookies. And my dad is like not a person who eats, and he's really into calling people fat. And yes, even if you're pregnant. And you know, I am a big person, so 100 pounds is pretty much like starvation to me. I would get a hold of a couple bucks, go to the party store and buy some cookies. And maybe some milk or something, I don't know what I got. And just park at the base beach. There was a driveway, there used to be a garage and a house there. My mom would teach day camp in the garage. And the house, we saw the house get demolitioned by the fire department. We were actually there doing day camp, and they lit the house on fire and burned it down. The firefighters were running around. I was like, it was supposed to be like the captain's, old military captain's house. It was like right down the street from my house. And the garage, because I used to ride my bike, the garage was basically a garage. I don't even think there was a bathroom. We had bathrooms down the street. I remember my mom would hold day camps there in the summer, and there'd be mice and stuff in there running around. And we'd have like tables and a bunch of file cabinets set up with craft supplies, and we'd do animal prints with plaster of Paris and other things. And we'd go around after thunderstorms. We had a lot of thunderstorms, the Midwest thunderstorms. See all the trees that were rotten, that were struck by lightning, and they'd blow up pretty much. And Mom would take us up and be like, look at this tree. It's like, it was struck by lightning, but as you could see, the inside of the tree was rotten, rot from the inside out. It was just interesting that it's like zap. It's like, it's your time to be zapped, you know, and burn up, and, you know, whoosh, it's like, the tree like exploded with air. They're already done. And you're like amazing how nature works like that. It's like cleansing. It's very cleansing. It's like your human body getting rid of toxins and cancer. It's like zap, zap, zap. It's like intelligent nature. And so I would drive down there. I remember that my mom she would do a bunch of emergency. That's why I was like, oh, I'm like a prepper. She would do the emergency stuff, and she had like a bunch of military stuff. And she would, you know, get the little things you break open and dump it in the lake to let people know, you know, if you crash land or you're lost. And it turns the lake orange. It's like, I remember her dumping that, so like, ooh, the lake's orange. Like, not the whole lake. It was a huge lake, so just the corner of it. But she would show us emergency things, and so I was like, already raised as kind of a prepper, plus the military war family. That's also another kind of preppers. Like, your survival skills are different. And I was growing up in a rural, wooded area with lots of water. But I used to drive, I guess I tore their the road down there, and I would park there, watch the lake, watch the waves roll in, and eat my cookies, and just be like, that's what I did when I was a kid. Because there was abuse in the house, and my mom was abusive to me, and I used to just lock myself in my room and take a bag of Chips Ahoy, the blue bag, chocolate chip cookies, and I'd take a candle and I'd heat them. Because I love the warm, I never hardly made chocolate chip cookies, but I used to put them in the microwave, you know, for a few seconds and have that warm, soft taste before they made that. They had the one in the dark bag, that's like the chewy. Or was it the red bag? I think they had the red bag. I gotta answer this call.